Hey guys, welcome back. Jason Goldberg here, speaker, trainer, coach, and your co-host here at the Master Circle, the world's first and only training platform designed to help you become a more masterful coach by giving you exclusive behind-the-scenes access to real-life coaching demonstrations from some of the top coaches on the planet. And this month, I want to introduce you to my 3 big ideas that came out of our most recent coaching demonstration with Christine Hassler. Christine Hassler is amazing, just beautiful inside and out. She's the author of this fantastic book, Expectation Hangover, and as we talk about in the actual interview, this is my real copy, so there's it's ripped and there's all kinds of notes and stuff inside. Fantastic book. We talk about this in the interview, and Christine is going to be coaching a woman named Elizabeth. And what Christine is coaching Elizabeth on is how to heal self-blame and to get back to self-love. And this is something that you'll probably see a lot with clients, depending on the type of people you typically coach. But this is something that a lot of people struggle with, is blaming themselves for maybe where they are or where they're not in their life or their career or their relationships or their health or their finances or whatever. And it's really about getting back to self-love, right? To really understanding, to really know, not even understand, to really know that we're enough and that we're deserving of love. And from that place, a lot of new things can be created. A lot of new possibilities come to the forefront, and you can really help your clients to create what it is they want to create. So this is a fantastic session between Christine Hassler and Elizabeth to help her get over this self-blame that she carries around and to really embrace a sense of self-love. So what I want to do today is go through and pull out 3 of the big ideas, and there are tons, like always. There's pages and pages of notes and big insights from the interview that I did with Christine before the coaching demonstration, and then notes that I've taken and pulled out from the coaching demonstration, and then also another fantastic part, the debrief at the end. And if you're a part of the Master Circle, you know all this already, but if you're not, that's the way these things work. I bring on just the top coaches in the world, people that I have some kind of intimate experience with, people that I really know and believe are making a huge impact in this world, and that their impact has also created a lot of income in their world, right? Because if you look at your bank account is directly linked to the amount of service that you're putting into the world, the amount of creativity you're having in your business, and the amount of impact that you're making. And all the people that are a part of the Master Circle are doing those things in spades, and they have opened up their heart, they have pulled back the curtain, and allowed you to see an example of what they do in coaching demonstrations that's so powerful. Not to tell you you have to do it that way, but just to expand your possibilities and your options for what is possible for you in your coaching. So today, what we're going to do is 3 big ideas. As always, they are practical. They are things that you can use directly in your coaching conversations today in sessions with people who are your prospects or your paying clients. And I guarantee it will make your coaching more powerful if you test these things out. Now, of course, we want them to be in alignment with you. If something you hear here strikes you as being completely out of alignment with how you operate and the type of coach you want to be, or more importantly, what serves the person that you're coaching, then don't do it. This is the kind of thing it's like a shoe store. We give you all these options, we give you all these shoes, and you try some on, and some of them are going to fit perfectly, and you run out of the store happy, jumping up and down because you found the most comfy shoes in the world. Some are going to maybe feel a little uncomfortable, but you'll wear them for a little bit, and you'll feel more comfortable in them as you wear them and test them out and try them. And some you're just going to know, you're going to get this intuitive hit that it's not a fear-based thing, and it's not just that it's uncomfortable, but it really is against what it is that you stand for as a human or as a coach. And that's all okay. We're all about giving you options just so you expand your possibilities and you can test and try out whatever you'd like. But the key is to test. Not to trust, not to believe, not to try to agree or disagree, not watch this just for information, not just to take notes and then put it up on the shelf with the rest of the shelf help that you've invested in, but to really take these things and test them. And if you're willing to do that, you're going to see a huge transformation for yourself and for your clients. So without further ado, let's jump into big idea number 1 of my 3 big ideas from the coaching demonstration with Christine Hassler. Okay, guys, so let's jump in. Big idea number 1 from Christine Hassler that I really, really love is, what does that sound like? What does that sound like? And this was a question that came up during the coaching conversation between Christine and Elizabeth when Elizabeth was talking about her self-blame and her judgment and the things that really hold her back and hold her down and don't allow her to create what it is she wants to create in her life, to feel the way she wants to feel. And Elizabeth was talking about it kind of conceptually, which is something that a lot of us do in general in the world and that a lot of our clients will do. They say, I struggle with X, And when we ask them about X, it's very conceptual, and it's, oh, I feel like this or I feel like that, and it's kind of high level. So what Christine did here in this coaching demonstration was to slow things down, which we've talked about in previous teaser episodes, and it's been something that if you're in the Master Circle, you've seen slowing down demonstrated by some of the other coaches. But she really slowed this down to ask Elizabeth, what does it sound like when you go into self-blame? Specifically, helping her to give her the space to verbalize what it is that she's feeling and what that sounds like. Because by having our clients verbalize things that are typically conceptual, instead of just making it this high-level thing, but saying, this is what I'm saying to myself when I feel like I'm in self-blame. These are the voices that are in my head when I'm getting really down on myself. These are the messages that are flowing through my brain nonstop when I'm feeling in really low spirits and feeling hopeless. To have them make that real in the coaching session not only helps you as the coach to see what's really going on, to get deeper insight into their world, which is super important, is for us to really get their world, but it's also a huge benefit to the client. Because this may be the first time ever that they've taken this feeling of self-blame or doubt or whatever it is that shows up in your coaching conversation and put words to it and really brought it out into the open. And sometimes that can be enough for our clients to say, wow, it's not that big of a deal. Like, as I'm listening to myself, that doesn't seem true at all. These voices and what they're saying, I know that's not true. I have evidence to the contrary. Sometimes that can be powerful in and of itself. But even if that part doesn't happen, allowing them to really verbalize, put into words what it is they're feeling instead of making it some high-level conceptual thing can really help as you're getting into the coaching to help them overcome what those voices are saying, to relax into what the voices are saying, and to find a way to overcome those challenges, not from a place of force or shame or guilt. And Christine takes Elizabeth through an amazing exercise here on self-compassion. We've had a couple coaches in the Master Circle that do this based on their training background at the University of Santa Monica. So you'll have to watch the episode to see that in action. But it's a really, really powerful way that once Elizabeth verbalized what her negative self-talk was, when she verbalized what this self-blame looked like in her head, it immediately separated her from that thing. And this is something I learned from Steve Chandler. If you can see your thoughts, you are not your thoughts. And so if we can verbalize and get the thoughts out of our head and we can see them now out in front of us, they are words, they are something outside of us, and we can detach from thinking that we are those thoughts, that we are those words, then we're taking great strides in being able to overcome those challenges. Okay, so let's move on to big idea number 2. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, the theme of the coaching demonstration between Christine Hassler and Elizabeth was coaching on self-blame and to help Elizabeth get back to self-love. And so self-love was a big part of the conversation. And in one part of the conversation, Elizabeth was talking about self-love and about what she needed to do to learn more self-love or to understand more self-love or to develop more self-love. And something really powerful came out of the conversation, and it's big idea number 2. Big idea number 2 is getting clear on the real source of self-love. And this was something that Christine did beautifully, and it was a great reminder for me too watching these episodes. And that's the great thing about this. Quick detour. You know, it doesn't matter how long you've been coaching, right? It doesn't matter if you're a master coach or you've just started. You never stop learning, right? Growth and development, flourishing, developing your ability, developing your skill, sharpening your saw, as Stephen Covey called it, that never stops. And that's the great thing about this. It's a game. It's a game that we just keep getting better and better at. You know, Michael Jordan never finished basketball, right? He was always practicing, always getting better. So the reason I say that is because as long as I've been coaching, I still learn so much from being a part of these interviews. And this was a big one for me, is the whole source of self-love. And so I can totally relate to what Elizabeth was saying, because Elizabeth's perspective on self-love was that she needed to learn it, right? That it was something outside of her she needed to somehow find and bring into her world. And Christine, again, slowed that down so beautifully and helped her to see that if you think you need to learn self-love, if you think it's something you need to develop from the outside in, or get from reading a book, or get from validation from others, not only is it fruitless, not only is it going to be very, very challenging to do that, but it can seem really intimidating and overwhelming to do that. Like, oh, my self-love exists outside of me. How do I bring that into my world? How do I grab at it? How do I claw at it? How do I learn it? How do I make it a part of my being? And again, Christine did a beautiful job of slowing that down and simplifying it and telling her and helping her see in the session that self-love only has to be remembered. How beautiful is that? Self-love only has to be remembered. It never leaves you. There's never a time where self-love has left your body and left your being and left your spirit. Even if you feel like it's not there, even if you're blaming yourself and you're shaming yourself and you're low on your ladder of consciousness and you just feel like total crap and you're hopeless, self-love is not gone. It's not something that has left you that you need to go out and bring back. It simply is something you need to remember. Remember that it's there, that you have access to it, that you can choose to bring it back up to the surface because it lies inside of you. Sometimes dormant, sometimes underneath a couple of layers of piles of crap, and so it feels like it's not there, but it's there. And so I love how Christine really simplified this and said, hey, we don't need to be intimidated or overwhelmed by trying to find self-love. It's already inside of us. I mean, it's in the name, right? Self-love, it's loving ourselves. And so I think it's really helpful to see, not just for self-love, but for any of the things that our clients want to feel in their lives that they think is a result of some circumstance, some event, something they have to obtain in order to feel that way, is to help them see that they have access to it already. That however they want to feel is a choice, and it's only something they need to be reminded of. It's only something they need to remember and choose. It's not something outside of them that they have to work hard and claw at and fight in order to bring into their world. Okay, let's move on to big idea number 3, and this is a distinction. And anybody who knows me knows that I love distinctions. Either or, very simple to remember. You don't need a 5-step process. And something that came out here that was great, it revolves around language, something else I'm really, really into. I love language, and you've probably seen that in many of the interviews here that we've done. If you're a part of the Master Circle and you have access to those 5 pages of notes of the big insights that I got from watching the interviews and from being a part, and also from watching these videos where I take out the big ideas, a lot of it revolves around language as well, because language is so powerful. The way we speak about our lives and our world really paints our world. It is the house, it builds the house that we live in, the words that we choose. And so this is a great distinction and a great use of language that Christine used in this interview and this coaching demonstration. And so big idea number 3 is what happened versus what we make it mean. What happened versus what do we make it mean? Because it's not what happened that has our clients feeling a certain way. It's not that a situation occurred in their life, or that something was disappointing, or there was a letdown, or there was a victory, or anything else that happens in our lives situationally. It's not the event, right? It's not the event that creates that feeling for us. It is what we make it mean, right? What we make it mean. And so there are points during this coaching demonstration where Christine Hassler helps Elizabeth see that there is not an automatic connection between any event and any feeling that goes with that event. It's only the feeling that we assign or the meaning that we assign to it. And the way I like to talk about this myself in my coaching and in my speaking is I talk about tofu, right? My wife's a vegan, which means we don't cook any meat in the house, and tofu is a part of our diet. And I was somebody that in the beginning, when my wife said, hey, you should try tofu, I said, oh God, tofu, I'm not gonna eat tofu. Tofu is disgusting. And she helped me to see that tofu is neutral. Tofu has no flavor until you flavor it. You want teriyaki grilled tofu, you put teriyaki sauce on it and you grill it, and then it tastes like something. You want fried barbecue tofu, then you put barbecue sauce on it and you fry it, and then it has some kind of a flavor. And the same thing happens with our lives and events and situations and things that happen, is that those things are tofu. They're neutral, they have no flavor, they have no meaning until we assign a meaning to them. I'll say it again, nothing in our world has any emotional charge, positive or negative. It doesn't mean anything good or bad until we assign a meaning to it. And it's the meaning that we assign to the different things that happen in our lives that end up having it lodged into our subconscious, that make it a part of our programming. This is where conditioning comes from, is having something happen, we assign a meaning to it, we take that meaning and lodge it into our subconscious, and from now on, we are always connected to that thing. Now, it doesn't have to stay that way. And that's why this question is so powerful, is helping Elizabeth see the difference between what happened and what do we say that it means because it happened. So this is a great tool to use with your clients. If they come to you and say, this thing happened and I'm upset about it, this thing happened and I'm sad, this thing happened and I'm disappointed, this thing happened and I'm a failure, any of these things, you can lovingly, with permission of course, help them to see that the occurrence of what happened in their life and what it says about them or what it means about them or what it means in general are not automatically linked. These are things that they have a choice, a sense of volition, of free will to decide what it actually means, as opposed to just letting their reactions immediately color it a certain way, and then that gets lodged in their subconscious. So great distinction here. What happened versus what do we make it mean, and helping our clients see the difference between those two things as a way to free them up, especially in situations where they're blaming themselves for something in their lives. So there you have it, guys. My 3 big ideas from our latest Master Circle coaching demonstration with Christine Hassler. Big idea number 1, what does that sound like? Helping our clients to verbalize what it is that's going on in their head instead of having it be some high-level conceptual feeling or thought, having them really talk about, bring into the world what it is that they're really feeling and experiencing. Big idea number 2, remembering being the key word, the real source of self-love. That you only have to remember that it's inside of you and you have access to it anytime you need to, and it's not something you have to go for outside of yourself. It's not something you have to learn. It doesn't have to be this overwhelming, intimidating thing. And big idea number 3, the distinction of what happened versus what do we make it mean. Not having our clients, or helping to have our clients see that an occurrence, an event happening, does not absolutely and automatically mean a certain thing. That they can decide what the actual meaning is of that thing. So those are your 3 big ideas. If you're not a part of the Master Circle, get over there and join us now, because there's so much more goodness in there. And now it's not just me. You may have heard at the top of this video, I said that I am Jason Goldberg, your co-host at the Master Circle. That's because Ajit has joined the Master Circle and he is now a co-host with me. Now, Ajit is the CEO and the founder of Evercoach, an amazing guy, a great coach in his own right, huge mind for business and for growth and for service. And he has added a bunch of new trainings as well about creating packages for your coaching and holding webinars and some really practical stuff that you can put into your business. So the 2 of us together are hoping that these 2 things together, his business expertise of what to do, especially in the online side, and me bringing these masterful coaches and helping you to see how you can be more masterful in your coaching, those 2 things together can really help you to become a very prosperous and successful and impactful coach. So come on over and join us. We'd love to have you be a part of our community and to learn to just be a more masterful coach with the support of all the other coaches who are signed up. I think we have something like 500 coaches now that are a part of this. So imagine the support and the community that you get for being a part of this. I get feedback all the time from people saying how much they learn from these coaching demonstrations, and that they're able to take that directly into their coaching sessions that same day and make even more impact in their clients' lives. So until next time, I wish you big love, big fun, and big impact as you continue on your path to mastery. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.